More than 65% of all of Ontario's cases are here in Peel region, and over the past 7 days there has been a spike in an increase in those numbers of cases, which has the Regional Medical Officer of Health calling on the province to consider a phased and regional approach to reopening.
We have seen a different picture of the pandemic here in Peel, particularly as our 7-day moving average of new cases is on an upward trend, which is not where you want to be going with reopening. But I want to be very clear that we also recognize, at least at Peel Public Health, that the province has a very difficult challenge in balancing the pandemic picture between what we're dealing with here in Peel and with other parts of the province as well. And we certainly continue to work collaboratively with Dr. David Williams and the Ministry of Health and Long-Term Care and our provincial partners to come up with advice and metrics and indicators around reopening that make sense.
We asked the Premier, I asked him specifically on a phone call that I had with him, to allow us to take a regional approach, and he opted to take kind of a pan-Ontario approach, which we knew wouldn't be appropriate for us because we had not yet peaked, we had not yet seen the plateau, so we were very concerned about reopening too quickly, and we wanted a very unique approach, a regional approach, to be applied in Peel.
The Premier says it's up to the 34 medical officers of health to make those decisions, but Dr. Lowe says that could cause confusion when province-wide announcements are being made. And here in Mississauga, Mayor Bonnie Crombie says the waterfront parks were busier than usual this weekend as the weather warmed up, but she said she was pleased to see that most people were adhering to physical distancing guidelines, and in fact, after delaying the reopening of outdoor facilities, they are now moving forward with it.
We will not hesitate to close it all down again if people don't govern themselves accordingly and if there are flare-ups in the number of cases.
After digging deeper into exactly where they're seeing a spike in cases, they say they're seeing it in two settings: in household clusters, meaning one person is getting infected in the community and bringing it home to the entire family, and as more people return to work, a spike in cases in food processing, manufacturing plants, and warehouses. It's a similar situation in Brampton. The city has now been identified as a hotspot as their numbers continue to trend upwards. Mayor Patrick Brown says he very much welcomes the province's announcement to ramp up testing, and they've actually asked all of their city employees to get tested, what he calls an unusual but necessary step.
This is a real push in the city of Brampton to make sure we scale up testing so we can have a handle on where the virus is.
He's also calling on all businesses and retail stores that are reopening for their owners to go get tested if they can. Let's take a closer look now at numbers across the GTHA. Hamilton is up to 661 cases, Halton has 698, Peel is reporting more than 4,300, York has 1,420, and Toronto is still reporting the highest number of cases.